So I have a version of Splunk Enterprise, which is kind of the self-hosted version. What we're going to look at would work more or less the same way on the cloud product. And the idea is that really all you need to do is configure a connector that we can talk to from the Splunk side. In this case, it's just an HTTP endpoint. So we're going to go create one out here. You see, I've done it already. You can actually see the details here of how it's configured. The most important thing, and I apologize, it's small. It's probably hard for many of you to read, but the important thing is that port number and whether SSL is required. But again, you have the full power of the Splunk product. All of the settings that you might want to configure can be used here, and you get the same behavior from us as any other feed into Splunk. So now I've got my Splunk environment configured, and literally what you saw is that's really it. So I'm going to move over to the mainframe side, and I'm going to just very quickly show an example of what I talked about before, that PropelZ is a number of different parts. And again, the details of this aren't very important. But what we're doing here is we're using PropelZ, and then instead of connecting to a normal JDBC driver and database, we're talking to a component that knows how to invoke the Splunk API. So I just started it. It's running. It's accessing the ZOS console. You can see kind of some of the type of data that we get. You can see what we ultimately send to Splunk is a long list of fields that come from the message logs that we're seeing. It's not just the text of the message. It's where did it come from, what console, all of that kind of stuff. And as you can see here, we're able to, directly from ZOS, we're able to, send that into Splunk. Splunk does its normal thing and acknowledges the request, told us, with that very last line, you see that there was success. It was able to ingest that record properly. So now I can go back to Splunk, and I'm just going to do a really simple search here. I'm just going to use the name of that source we created and just query some records. And there's all the information that we've been sending to our Splunk context. You could see it's it's line by line. It's all of the fields that I described before. So if I need to see who is the individual user who did this, or what console did it come from, or which LPAR in my environment, it's all there, fully integrated with Splunk at this point. What that means is you can use all of these different fields for really anything that Splunk supports. You could build custom dashboards, you could generate alerts, you could generate notifications, you could do, I think of it as kind of a poor man's automation system. You see error messages, I want to, email someone in the IT community, or open an issue in my help desk, or any of that is possible with the integration that I've talked about. And again, this isn't quite real time. I had to go back and forth between the systems and do some of the things that we're talking about, but end to end, from nothing to having this running, was literally 10 minutes for me. So it's not, again, it's not the kind of thing that you're going to have to spend weeks or months figuring out. It's the kind of thing where you can try it, see the value, and you can spend your time and energy on what you do with the data rather than figuring out how to get the data there. You can put the brain cells into what kind of alerts do I want to generate, or what kind of notifications do I need, or what do I do in response to some of these messages that might flow through. And that's exactly how we want it to be. We don't want you to have to struggle with the basic nuts and bolts of how do I get the data there. So what we just saw is system logs, but generally just about any type of log data can follow that same model that you just saw. Um, and I mean, we mentioned SMF here. We talked about that a little bit, but it could be other types of things. It could be, I don't know, CICS transaction journals or DB2 journals, or really anything that you want. The event log from your security product, all sorts of things like that are usable this way. And again, the beauty of it is just how easy it is to do. Uh, I know from my time at CA, we would often try to do these multi-platform things, and where we would usually stumble is that it was just so hard to get the right flow of data from mainframe applications that didn't really want to talk to other platforms into whether it was one of our products or competitors' product. I mean, it's hard, and there's heavy lifting there. We take that away, and we connect those systems together very easily, so that you can get the value out of those integrated multi-platform solutions with almost no work.